Greetings, fellow treasure hunters, and welcome back to another deep dive into the fascinating world of physical game preservation. Today, we are turning our attention to one of the most anticipated and heavily discussed releases for the Nintendo Switch 2, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. You might remember that the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series versions came under well-deserved fire for the quote-unquote physical release of the game that forced players to download a massive 80GB update just to start the game. So when the Switch 2 version was announced as a complete, full-featured cartridge release, we were excited to get our hands on it. The big question on everyone's mind: did Bethesda and Machine Games actually deliver the promised physical experience we've all been hoping for? Or are we digging in the wrong place? Let's find out. In recent years, the majority of Microsoft-published titles, as well as many AAA Switch releases, have left both gamers and physical collectors feeling disappointed. Be it gargantuan mandatory downloads, game key cards, or even worse, codes in boxes. That's why this Switch 2 release feels like such a breath of fresh air. Surprisingly, Bethesda has stepped up and delivered something we haven't seen from them in quite a while: a genuine, complete physical version of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This marks the first time the game has been available in true physical format since its original launch back in December 2024. Let's start with the good news, and there's quite a bit of it. First, and most importantly, we're thrilled to confirm that the full game is completely present on the cartridge. You can play from the opening moments all the way through to the credits entirely offline, with no mandatory downloads required. Starting the game is instant, and we ran into very few significant bugs during our testing. Even better, this cartridge includes almost every major update released since launch. That means you're getting all the new accessibility options, 2 additional adventure books, extra outfits, a plethora of bug fixes, and even the New Game Plus mode. While Update 8 itself isn't on the card, we are happy to discover that the Shanghai Club outfit from Update 8 has been included directly. On the technical side, the audio, visuals, and frame rate are genuinely impressive for the Switch 2. The sound has minimal compression, preserving much of the cinematic atmosphere, while the visual fidelity comfortably surpasses the Xbox Series S version and looks excellent in both docked and handheld modes, though naturally they don't quite reach the heights of PS5 or Series X. Now let's talk about where things fall a little short. During testing, we encountered a small handful of notable issues with the game. While these issues are not game-breaking by any means, they are worth pointing out. Firstly, while we did not encounter any major frame rate issues during gameplay itself, there was an issue in some cutscenes that caused the character animations to randomly skip frames for a few seconds before returning to normal. There are also some minor but noticeable dips when driving the boat through water, but it does not hinder the ability to control the game. On the topic of visuals, there appears to be noticeable pop-in close to the camera, particularly in areas with a lot of vegetation and trees, as well as some light flickering on some NPCs under certain conditions. Also, early in the game, there is an issue when climbing down a particular ledge in which the screen will flash colors and the game will crash. These problems could unfortunately pose risks for those with photosensitivity or epilepsy. We were able to reproduce the crash in standard widescreen mode as well, but the accompanying visual bug did not appear. Additionally, in handheld mode, we noticed some areas of the game can look very pixelated and smeary. This is exacerbated in handheld mode, and when overlooking large outdoor areas, like when standing on the Borgia Tower balcony and overlooking the hub area, while it can be distracting at times, it's understandable given the hardware limitations. There's also some semi-distracting flickering on an enemy's clothing in one specific fight sequence. Performance-wise, the game exhibits some micro-stuttering during transitions between gameplay and cinematics, when loading new areas, during autosaves, and on camera cuts. It's never severe enough to ruin the experience, but if you're sensitive to frame pacing issues, you might find it slightly annoying. And lastly, unfortunately, the game suffers from frequent crashing. One of our testers reported several crashes within minutes of fast traveling to the Vatican for exploration. Another tester noted crashes every 5 to 6 hours of gameplay while just rushing through the story, as well as several crashes triggered by one specific cutscene. So, how does the final verdict look? While we could overlook the handful of technical hiccups, such as the micro-stuttering and pop-in, the persistent crashing issues during exploration simply occur far too often for us to ignore. Despite that, Machine Games and Bethesda have delivered impressive visuals and performance for the Switch 2, and it is so close to being the type of release we've been asking for. While not perfect, we would like to see more titles arrive in a complete fashion on the cartridge like this. But more polish on the stability side is needed in order for this to be a release we'd feel comfortable recommending. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you don't want to miss out on future content. You can also support us by donating to our Patreon or Ko-fi using the links below. We'd also like to give a big shout out to our supporters for joining us. That's all for today. See you in the next video. And remember, we do not follow maps to buried treasure, and X never ever marks the spots.